Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while, and welcome to all of you who are here for the first time. I'm gonna do something a little different, and I don't know if it's gonna stick, and I don't know if I'm gonna do a lot of these videos, but I'm gonna try something different. I'm gonna introduce myself first, for those of you who don't know. My name is Ronnie. I am a 37-year-old Canadian chick, and I live in Nova Scotia, Canada. And I'm a rock star. I'm amazing. I am great with people. I am great at my job. And I am absolutely fantastic. It's taken a long time to get there, and it's definitely something that, I don't feel every day, but I do have my moments where I am an absolute fucking rock star, and it's great. I didn't start that way. I came from very humble and not great beginnings. I'm sure, some of my family will understand where I'm coming from, and I'm going to share a bit of that, because all of that made me who I am today, and I really do think it's important that we as people share who we are instead of the vision that we want people to see. I work for a bank, and I've been doing that now for 6 years. That was actually a hell of a turning point in my life, to be honest. Up until that point, I'd done retail McJobs. I worked at Sears. I worked at McDonald's. I worked at Subway. I worked at Kudo. I worked kiosks in malls, and I wandered around doing minimum wage bullshit. And all of it led me to who I am today, and all of it helped make me a better person at the job that I am now. I didn't realize that at the time. At the time, I was like, sweet money, I can live. Fine. That's great. But it really wasn't about the money, and I really didn't understand that until much, much later. I learned a lot of skills. I learned how to talk to people. I learned how to get outside my comfort zone and really interact with people, and I was good at it. I am good at it. I can find a way to connect with anybody, and I can do it very quickly, and I build rapport very, very well. It came to a point, though, where I wasn't satisfied. I wasn't happy with the minimum wage job, and the one I was in was not great. I was working for a person that wasn't happy with themselves or their life, and they were taking it out on me in a lot of ways. And I was letting it happen because I wasn't standing up for myself in any way, shape, or form. And it got to a point where enough was enough. I had decided this is where I'm drawing my line. This is it. This is the end of this person making me feel bad to make themselves feel better. And I quit. Straight up quit. I had no other job. I had no prospect of another job. I had no money saved because I'm still terrible at saving money, despite the fact that I work at a bank and tell people how to do their banking every day. I very much live day to day, and I very much live in the moment, which sometimes makes me not so great at thinking of future, and money is part of that. It's something that I'm sure we can all relate to. But I did. I decided that didn't matter. It didn't matter where my check was coming from. It didn't matter that I didn't have anywhere to go if I couldn't find a landing. It was terrifying. It was straight up terrifying, but I couldn't take that treatment anymore. And I was done. I needed a change. I needed to get out of there. So I quit with nothing. Sorry, this is a very large bottle of my biggest vice. Hey, I've gotten to Coke Zero though, so I'm cutting back on the sugar, which is nice. And I'm gradually getting to a point where I can cut that out altogether. Because that's really not good for me. But back to the focus. I tend to go all over the place. I quit, and I had my aunt who worked at Tim Hortons, and she offered me a gig, and I was like, fuck, I worked at Tim Hortons before, I can do this, it's no big deal. And it crushed my soul. Not because she was bad, or the job was bad, or anything like that. It was the fact that I just quit this kiosk job because I wasn't satisfied with it. And then I felt like I took a step back. And that's not any slight against Tim Hortons or the people who work there or my aunt or her place of business, because she ran that place amazing, and she was very, very, very understanding of everything. I was stressing myself out to the point where I made myself sick. I wasn't able to get up and go to work every day because I was so stressed out and my soul was so depleted that I was physically ill. Like, I was going to a doctor, I was having panic attacks, I was throwing up in the mornings because I couldn't face what I had to go do. And I knew I had to make a change. So, on a whim, like, I was going through websites and stuff like that. I have no background in finance at all. I knew there was no way the bank was going to hire me. I applied anyway. And it shockingly turned very fast. Within a day of applying, I got a response asking if I wanted to do a phone interview. So I did the phone interview, and they're like, okay, so we're probably going to call you in a little bit and set up like an in-person interview if we want to continue to the next step. And then within a couple of hours, I got a call back, and they were like, hey, yeah, listen, I talked to my boss on break, and he would really like to bring you in for an interview because you did really well on your first interview. And I was like, well, I don't know anything about banking. What the fuck am I doing? But I did it anyway. I was terrified. I had no idea what I was going to tell these people. I had no background in banking. I was certain they were going to get me in this room and I was just going to get laughed at and get sent home and I was going to be homeless and it was going to be horrible and everything was going to be dreadful and I caused myself stress. But I forced myself to get up and go. And I went because I'm like, well, what do you got to lose? Like, nothing. You already have nothing. So go. And I went and I talked to them and I showed them the person that I am and I showed them the skill set I did have in communication and client experience and that kind of thing. And somehow I got through the interview and they were like, okay, we'll probably call you in a couple of days. So I was like, okay, whatever. It was right down the street from my boyfriend's house at the time. So I was like, all right, cool. Thanks very much for meeting with me. I'm like, they're never going to call me. This is ridiculous. I didn't even make it these 6 blocks to his house before I got a call. And they're like, we need you to do like a police check and stuff like that because we're going to hire you and we need to get this all in order and that all in order. And within a matter of like, turn around, go back to the police station to get this like police report thing. Like, they ask for your like criminal history or something like that because you work at a bank and they want to make sure you don't steal shit. And I got that done. I rushed it right over. There was an issue because apparently somebody else with a similar name to mine came up and it might have been a problem, but that got cleared up really quickly. And within a week, I was in a training class for a bank and no idea how I got there. I literally just took the leap and hoped for the best and managed to fly. I threw myself at the ground and missed in the most amazing way. And I took it and I was like, well, if they're gonna hire me, they must see something that I don't see. It must be bigger than just the banking. So I took everything in. Like, I was like, within 3 days, I was like, oh, I want to do that facilitator job that lady's doing because that seems really cool. I could do that. Didn't do that. Within the 6 years I've been there, I've never done that. I've done a lot of different roles. I've never done that one. Because I realized after being on the phones and it's like the call center part of the bank, that I'm really, really good with people. And while I may not always like the sales, I'm also really good at that. I'm good at figuring out that one thing that I have in common with the person on the other end of the line and connecting with that person and really finding the solution that works for them rather than just here's a product, have a sale. So I took all of the information that I could do. I took all of the job opportunities I could have, all of the training, everything they would give me, and I just sucked it in like a sponge. And I became really good at what I do. And then I found what role I wanted to do. So 4 years of busting my ass and going through some of the hardest times. Like, I had a senior manager who seriously didn't like me and was trying to railroad me out of the building. I had managers who were trying to push themselves ahead by beating the shit out of everyone around them. And that's not everyone in the job that I'm in, but these are things that I had to go through. And each one of these things made me a stronger person in hindsight. In the time that I was there, it was like the worst thing ever. And I remember thinking, I'm going to quit. I'm just going to quit. But then I would stop and think to myself, well, what are you going to do then? because this is really good money, and this is an actual grown-up career job. Like, you have benefits and paid vacation, and what are you going to do? Like, you're going to go back to McDonald's? That's going to be great. That's like a huge, huge leap back at that point. So I stuck it out. I'm very lucky that through this job, I managed to meet my incredible partner, who had been there quite a lot longer than I did, and helped me understand how that place worked and what was actually happening and how to deal with it. And so by taking this massive leap, I got a career. I found strength in myself. I found my partner. And I really did start to find a purpose in the job that I had. And I focused so hard on 4 years of work to get to this one position in that place. And I figured as soon as I got to that one position in that place, I would be truly happy. Once I got there, I'd be truly happy. And I got it. I worked my ass off and I got it. I got everything in line, all my ducks in a row, everything was super. And I got there. And I did incredible at it for 8 months. And then something happened. And I got sent back to my previous role. And there was moments of anger and frustration and crying, and all of that's a natural reaction. I blamed everyone. I blamed the management. I blamed the clients. I blamed everyone but myself. And then I was sitting at home one day, and I'm listening on Audible to the Success Principles, and the first step that he says that you need to take to being successful is to take responsibility fully for your own actions. And that kind of hit home, and I really sort of took a moment, and I was like, why did this originally happen? Like, what happened? What did I do that put this chain of events into action? And it was something that I said, and I had to take ownership that I had indeed said it. It wasn't incredibly bad. I literally, it really wasn't. But it was something that I had done that had caused this chain of events to happen that made me go back to where I was. And luckily, I'm a very professional person, and I was able to do all of this at home and outside of work and still go into work every day and have a smile on my face, do my job, and handle it all with dignity and grace. The day they told me that I was being sent back, it was like 3 hours into my shift on a Friday. I had to finish that shift. I didn't go home. I didn't cry at work. I took the information. I went, okay, thank you. And I basically shut down, and I went and did what I needed to do to get through that day. And then I went home and bawled and yelled and screamed and threw things. But it was important to me to remember that everything inside that building had to be professional, had to be graceful, had to be poised. It had to be me. That's who I had to be. And it made me be a stronger person overall. And I've been doing great since I went back to my old role, and I'm crushing it. I'm exceeding all the expectations. I'm creating new roles for myself. I'm really pushing that department to be better. And I found my purpose, which was, it's not about me. It's about making it better for others. Because when I do that and I make other people feel good, and I've helped them find their way, and I mentor them, that makes me feel good. And it makes me feel like I'm doing something. So I really, really push myself every day to do that. And it's definitely made a difference. I'm happier. I'm getting back to me, because I spent 4 years trying to get to this ideal goal that I pushed everything about me, like what I like to do, what I'm into, what my passions are, aside, because I needed this goal. This is what I need. This is going to make me happy. This is what is going to change my life. And you know what I found when I got there? It didn't. Like, I kept waiting for that moment where I was like, oh yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'm so happy. Ooh, I accomplished everything. Woo! Never happened. Because I spent the whole time going, why am I not happy? What's missing that I'm not happy? And what was missing is me. I'd given up all of me to get here. For what? More money? prestige, none of that shit matters at the end of the day. It wasn't making me happy. In fact, I was packing on pounds like nobody's business. I was sitting there eating my sorrows away, and I wasn't happy. Like, I finally reached the golden egg, and I was like, eh. So, I tried to see going back as a challenge, and I really pushed myself to do better, and not so much focus on, ooh, I gotta get that golden ticket to be happy. I'm just gonna be happy right now. I'm gonna get back to what I love. Like, I love my makeup, and I love painting, and I love creative things, and I love talking to people and finding solutions and figuring out that one thing that's gonna really help them. And once I figured out what my purpose was, it changed everything. I'm way happier. I'm getting back to being me. I'm coming out of that rabbit hole and living with a purpose. And it took sort of getting to my goal and finding out that didn't really make me happy to reach out and find something that did. And I was very lucky that I found a multi-level marketing company that really spoke to me with a product that I truly, truly believed in. And I was like, I don't even know how to do that. But I thought, well, I didn't know how to be a banker, and now I'm really good at it. And I can use a lot of that stuff from that and the things that I've learned in my 20 some odd years of working with people to really succeed at that. And so I signed up, and I spent my $55, and I'm like, whoa, I'm going to go do it. And I had a bunch of people who were like, yeah, we're behind you, we're going to do it. And then I was like, hey, I did it, and I'm going to start selling this stuff. And they were like, oh, yeah, we don't want to buy that. And we were just really cheery about the fact that, like, it seemed cool, but can you give us it for free, or can you give it to me for this? And the dream snatchers and the vision crushers started popping in, and you know, you have people who are like, this is how you have to do this. This is how you succeed. And you have to recruit, and you have to do this, and you have to push it down people's throats and focus on and it wasn't what I wanted to do with that. And I sort of got bogged down in that, and I sort of got frustrated, and I'm like, what the fuck did I do? I kind of signed up for the makeup, and now I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm clearly doing this all wrong. And then I stepped back, and I thought, these people are trying to help. This is what's worked for them. This is the parts that they've focused on that was important to them. And it works. It does. Like, their recruiting techniques and stuff like that, I'm sure work really, really well. But for me, I'm not at a point where I'm at the recruiting point yet. I'm still learning my product and learning the science behind it and falling in love with that and sharing that with people. And I'm wicked good at the sales and all that. But I have a plan, and I have a vision, and I need to remember that my plan and my vision is just as important as what they're telling me. And that I can't let that go for what somebody else is telling me is going to work. Because I believe what I'm doing is going to work long term. I need to look at the big picture. I need to not get bogged down in one bad day, one bad week, one slow day. It doesn't matter. Because one slow day doesn't make a whole bad time. You have 365 days in the year. Some days are going to be awesome. Some days are not going to be awesome. But you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that you shine bright and not dim your light for anyone else. And I have to keep that vision. And sometimes it's hard. It really is. But I think it comes easier when I am more honest, open, and vulnerable with people. And that's sort of what I'm bringing to this channel, is I'm going to start sharing more of who I am and what's brought me here in an effort to help other people. Because I really sort of shut myself off for a number of years and was like, no one's going to understand where I'm coming from. No one goes through what I go through. No one had the mom I had. No one had the growing up that I had. And that's true. No one else has had the exact same story that I have had. But maybe my story can help other people who've gone through similar things. And that's my purpose. If I can make someone else feel better by sharing the stuff that's happened to me and how it's made me the better person, that makes me feel good. And making me feel good and what I want to do is my whole purpose. I don't want to feel anxious anymore. I don't want to feel stressed out and sad and all this. And I know how to fix it. It's not easy, but it is simple. And that's a thing that I really do love about this MLM that I've joined, is they are really focused on personal growth and personal development. And sure, some of the shit sounds really dumb. Like, some of the stuff in the Success Principle sounds so stupid. And some of the stuff Tony Robbins says, I'm just like, whatever. But every once in a while, something that they say will come into my head and go, oh shit, no, he's got a point. That's exactly where I'm at. That's exactly what I need to hear. And it's really been able to make me a better person. So it's a lot like going to Value Village. You really have to dig through everything to find the golden nuggets and take what you need. But I highly recommend it to everyone. Don't shrug off personal development. It really does make a difference. And it's really made a difference to me. So I guess what I'm saying is that, you know, you need to really live with a purpose, and sometimes you have to take that leap with no net, no safety, no nothing to get where you need to go. And you need to step outside that comfort zone and fly. And you, me, everybody can be a rock star. You just need to do it. And it may not always be easy, but it is that simple. So you have to believe in you. Take in everything everybody's saying. Take the parts that are going to help you get where you need to go. But keep your vision. It's your life. Life is not short. Life is the longest thing you do. You are there from start to finish. Sometimes it's fleeting, and there are going to be a number of challenging times in your life. But you need to believe in you and your vision to make it through that. So when it seems like everything's lost and it seems like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I have no job. I'm not going to have anywhere to live. It's easy to fall down that rabbit hole. You need to know how to get out. You need to have people that you can reach out to. And if you need to message me in the comment section to get through that, I'm down for that. My message section's always open in that box down below. I will always talk to anybody on any topic and help in any way that I can. Because that's my vision and that's my purpose in life, is to help people be the best them that they can be. Whether that's job advice, personal advice, stories that I've gone through. I'm going to do these videos more often and more honestly. And if people watch them, great. If people don't watch them, whatever. If people got great things to say, perfect. If people got bad things to say, whatever. Everybody has a story, and I think it's time that I stop being so scared of my story and how people are going to react to it, and start sharing it and sharing what I've learned and really get where I need to be happy, which is to help other people. And yeah, so I guess that's it. At least for this episode. Gonna try and do these like once a week and try and post them on Saturdays or Sundays. Because they are terrifying to do. Very honest and forward talking is scary as shit. You have to be vulnerable, and that is not an easy thing for me. It's something that I'm challenged with every day, but I really do feel that stepping outside my comfort zone helps me be a better person. And me being a better person to me helps me be a better person to others. And if I can be a better person to others, maybe I can help them be a better person to them. So yeah, subscribe to my channel, and you'll always know what's going on if you hit the bell button there. It'll let you know when I put out new things. But yeah, I'm going to try and do these once a week and share different stories of my past and my current time. And you know, we'll see if we can grow together and see what we can learn from each other. And if you have a topic that you want me to talk about, please feel free to pop that in the comments down below. I'm always interested to hear what you guys say. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you next week.